everybody. Welcome to a very early Friday live stream. I made it open to subscribers, not only because it's very early on a Friday, and so I felt, hey, if you're tuning in, you should be able to join the chat. But also, this, of course, is a topic that everybody cares very much about and is very interested in. I'm sorry I couldn't cover this the day of, the Marvel announcement on Wednesday. Thank you, Danny. I couldn't cover it the day of, but then it was so much information that I felt, it was best to do a standalone video instead of a live stream. But I know a lot of you wanted to talk about this, directly. So that's why I'm dedicating an entire live stream to it. So it's so nice to see you all. And because this is a subscriber live stream where subscribers can participate in the chat, as soon as you hit subscribe, you'll be let into the chat. Thank you, Devin. I'm going to do shout outs at the very end of the video just to say hi to those of you who normally can't be in the chat. But yeah, we're going to talk. Oh, that's right, Dennis. If you could like and subscribe, it would be appreciated. Thank you very much. Thank you, Faye. So you want to start with a poll, a good old poll? All right, I was thinking about that. I saw all of you talking about Mystique before we started. And, a couple of people, I tweeted that I was disappointed in the lack of female characters in the lineup. And I had a couple of trolls saying, I think one person was like, less women, you lost, your side lost. And it was very hard for me now to be like, well, I have to say the person who has the most heat out of the announcement is Mystique, a female character. So let's talk about who you're the most excited about in terms of the announcements, I guess. Okay. Oh, and this is the first live stream of the week. I had a lot of personal stuff going on, so let me gift some memberships. Hold on. I have to do that from the actual video. Just give me a second. Let's see here. Hold on. Wait a minute. Oops. Okay, let me gift some memberships. And since I didn't live stream all week, I'll gift 10 memberships today. Hold on. There we go. I usually do 5 every week. But since I didn't do a lot of live, this is the only live stream of the week. I want to gift the 10 memberships. Okay, so yes, as you can see, I have up here, so you can see it, all the people who are listed, all 27 names, but I have them divvied up so that you can get a better idea of what you're looking at. And then here's who was left out. Both Avengers characters and then X-Men characters down there. It's so sad. Thank you, Julio. Thank you very much. That's right, there's no Spider-Man. It's disgusting. Okay, so let me do a poll. I know you guys like a good poll. Oh, look at the chat go. I love it. Okay, start a poll. Who was the coolest name announced? Surprise. We'll do surprise. From yesterday. So Mystique, I guess Cyclops, all just the X-Men characters, right? Mystique, Cyclops, I guess Ian McKellen, Magneto. I wonder who else. I can't even think of a fourth freaking person to put on here. I guess Namor. He was a surprise. Okay. That's right. It's Colton Lee was also surprised. So basically anyone could be in the chat today if you just hit the subscribe button. But anyone can vote in a poll. You just have to click on it. Hey, Lucas. Welcome back. All right, so while that's going there, oh yeah, Nightcrawler was a pretty good one too, as well, Elliot. All right, so I'll let that simmer for a little bit while people vote. Oh yeah, Gambit was Gambit was a pretty good surprise. I like that one too. Let's see here. Happy birthday, Julio. Oh, you gifted memberships because it's your birthday. That's so nice. I have a family birthday in the next couple of days as well. I'm entering birthday row for my family. So, but luckily, none of the birthdays fall on Cinemacon next week. I fully expect to be very busy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Blair says, still no Eternals. Marvel really doesn't care anymore. It's a good thing. Harry Styles still makes music. I think, I wouldn't totally throw away. I don't know. I don't understand why they even did the Eternals, to be honest with you. Sometimes, they're there's so few opportunities for Marvel to put out content because they can't flood the market as they've discovered, that sometimes they'll do something and you're like for instance, with all due respect to like Ghost, like a lot of the members of Thunderbolts, what the heck are they doing in the Avengers Doomsday movie? It's so shocking to me. I'm like, look at all these people who are left out, and why are these people over there? Some of them. That's right, Ilion. Loki was a wonderful surprise. I was like, you're not going to make Tom Hiddleston sit in that chair forever, are you? They're like, at least he's sitting down. Anyway, I'm glad he's back. All right, so let me answer some questions, because this is, of course, a Q&A. So Ever After says, do you think Chris Evans will be back for Secret Wars? Yes, I do. I haven't heard anything about it. A trade reported that. When a trade reports something, I mean, I think the trades are feeling a little bit of competition from scoopers and independent reporters like myself. So they're getting a little scoopier. They're not working quite as in tandem with the studios as they always maybe used to. David, I'll get to your question in a moment, but I think that when a trade reports something like that, they have very good sources. So I think Chris Evans will probably be in Secret Wars. I would not think that he would be in Doomsday. I think Secret Wars is going to be the world of Doom. I think that concept art that leaked was probably for Secret Wars, not for Avengers Doomsday, as I outlined yesterday in my video. David says, I think this was our chance to get Phoenix versus Scarlet Witch, and we missed it. It's not going to happen. I think maybe Marvel doesn't want to call attention to the fact that maybe they turned Scarlet Witch into their Phoenix. Although I have to say, a lot of Wanda's lines from Multiverse of Madness, where she's like, I think I'm getting treated unfairly because I'm a woman. I'm like, Wanda, I think that is a very meta comment, because I believe I see that also in the way you're being treated by the company. It is what it is. But I think I'm not going to get too angry about it, because what's the point? But I certainly have the right to call it out. Let's see. Oh, that's right, Blair Wraith. Makari was an excellent speedster. Although, where's Quicksilver? They turned him into Ralph Boner. Mr. Andrew says, are they all going to die? That's a good question. I do wonder if maybe the Fox X-Men characters will sacrifice themselves. Because as I also pointed out yesterday in my video, they're not in Secret Wars. X-Men are not a big part of that story. And someone's got to die. Someone's got to bite it for Doomsday to have real stakes. I said, what is there left for Ant-Man to do? And one of you said, die. I was like, although Paul Rudd the other night was on Jimmy Fallon, and he just looked so movie star. I was like, wow, he looked this close to having a little bit too much makeup on, because his cheeks were just so rosy. But I thought he looked great. Let's see. I don't see the comment that I missed from you. Oh, Grace, did Marvel just forget about Monica? I don't think it's so much they forgot about Monica. I think they feel like that movie was just such a horrible failure that they just are like, what Marvel's movie? I think that you didn't see any of the characters from that film. They really did try and avoid the Disney Plus characters. But as I also said yesterday, I feel that, you just can't back away from those characters. You just have to fix them. Kiara says, hello, Grace. I'm so happy that I can comment today. Yay, I'm happy too. For me, the fact that there are only 5 women is utterly disrespectful. No Wanda, no Agatha, no Captain Marvel, no Monica. Yeah, I really feel, even just, for those of you who are upset with, who haven't liked some of the female characters, how about just for the sake of eye candy? I mean, don't underestimate the importance of female characters. One of you pointed out that Mortal Kombat, the recent game of Mortal Kombat, has had this issue. I think, and there aren't Superman, the upcoming Superman movie doesn't have a lot of female characters. I think you need female characters. Look how well Marvel Rivals has done as a result of having really great female characters. What are some of the most popular comic book characters out there? Batman and X-Men, and they both have very strong female characters in them. Spider-Man's popular too, but he doesn't have a lot of female characters. He has some. Let's see here. I'm going back to some of the questions I missed. Hold on. Whew, sorry. Oh, I love all the questions. Oh, I'm very far back here. I apologize. I'll have to have quicker answers. Oh, my goodness. All right, I'm back here. Okay. Pumpkin DeShazer says Loki was my biggest surprise. What a name! Dominique says, where is Gaia? Hopefully gone forever. I never want to see Gaia again. Olive Earl says, maybe they're less expensive. And Olive Earl, I think that is a very good comment because the Russo brothers have admitted to when they're assembling their casts, they've made baseball cards out of them so that they not only have stats like what their contracts are in terms of how many movies they have left on them, but also how much they cost. And so that's very true. The Thunderbolts is the discount bargain basement team, except for Florence Pugh and Sebastian Stan. Golden Globe winner, thank you very much. Paul says, which characters have the best chance from the missing list of joining the film? That's a great question, Paul. I think you're probably going to have a couple more X-Men in there. I can't imagine Wolverine not being there. I can't imagine Jean Grey or Storm not being there. Somebody pointed out that Anna Paquin is dealing with some very serious health issues. I feel very bad for her, but that might be one of the reasons you probably won't see Rogue. But I gotta tell you, I think maybe Doctor Strange, like they might have a tease for the world that Doom creates, and Doctor Strange might show up briefly at the very end. But I think that they just said that to, not make people complain. I think that where else is there room for anyone else? I think you're gonna have maybe a couple of cameos and surprises, but I think that's about it. Wasim says that Cillian Murphy should have been Doom. I don't know if Cillian Murphy would have done it, to be honest with you. Let's see. Hey, Scores, I'm glad you're here. Fernando says, what do you think Doom's fate will be? Could Robert Downey Jr. continue to play him after Secret Wars, or is this a one and done? Well, really two and done for him. I don't know if they could afford him. Let's see how much. I think, again, it'll depend on how much money the movies make. If they're like as big as Endgame, Robert Downey Jr. ain't never going away. I think it's funny that he won his Oscar and went right back to Marvel. But yeah, I think it's all going to depend on how the films perform. I think that'll be the reasoning. Doc Hayes says, is Taskmaster not going to make it out of Thunderbolts? I don't know what's going on with Taskmaster. Some people pointed out that Taskmaster was being digitally erased from the trailer shots. You're like, is she not in the movie at all? I mean, that's weird. I mean, would they totally remove her from the film? I mean, that would be a story. But I don't know what's going on over there. Cece says, I feel like no She-Hulk or Captain Marvel makes it feel like the Trolls won. I would agree with that, particularly because Tatiana Maslany, I think, has just been wonderful. I don't think she's provoked or caused any issues with anyone. To not have either one of them, I think, is really bad. Verbin wants to know where Nick Fury is. Well, I think he's retired, right? Akana says, I think they are in it because Marvel believes Thunderbolts will be a hit. I don't know if Thunderbolts is going to be a hit. I want to know what's going to happen with Sentry, where he's going to apparently stay on that team. I mean, that's, again, another big spoiler. You're like, how big of a threat can he be? He's going to stay as a good guy, apparently. Let's see here. Pumpkin DeShazer also says, Monica and Maria Rambeau not mentioned, but Kelsey Grammer announced is not a great look. But I think it's just from a different universe. He's from the Fox universe. Do you think they'll be in the movie? No, I don't. I think that he's going to be Kelsey Grammer Beast from the Fox's X-Men is what I think it's going to be. M says, I need Mystique and Magneto being catty again together. Oh, they have to be. They have to be. I hope they don't turn Mystique into too much of a good guy. I think that would really be uncool. I would not be happy about that at all. I think she is going to wear the white dress. Although I would like to point out that Rebecca Romijn is still in fabulous shape, and I bet you she could still do. If people weren't so mean on the internet, I think she could 100% still do the look that she had in the original films. But since people like to freeze frame stuff now and evaluate it down to the molecular level, I don't know if she should subject herself to that. So put her in the classic costume with the skull belt and the white dress, and I think it'll be fine. Jonathan says, missing Jean Grey and Storm, it's bad. Also, Scarlet Witch is for sure his surprise. I do think Scarlet Witch is going to be Dr. Doom's ace up his sleeve, because I think that he's doing something. If he's doing Secret Wars, he's doing the exact same thing that Wanda did in WandaVision. He's just she was into television, he's into medieval culture. What does your secret world say about you? Right? Take our pop quiz today in Cosmo. But yeah, But I think that, I'm almost for sure that Scarlet Witch is going to be involved in Secret Wars. Faye says, I have a sneaking suspicion that the Thunderbolts will have a very small role, and they're only in this because Feige wants to promote their movie. That's maybe true. Maybe they die immediately. They're like, you made it through your own movie, only to die. And they're not going to kill off Yelena and Bucky, and probably not Sentry. But if I were Red Guardian, U.S. Agent, and Ghost, I'd be scared. Blair Wraith says, the only way they might make this right is Scarlet versus Jean Grey. Fans would go nuts. The only way they... you wrote it twice, Blair. I don't know if that would work. I don't know. I would really like to see Famke Janssen one last time. I feel she was such a great Jean Grey. To this day, I still remember seeing X2 in theaters and what it was like. Lucas says, hey, BTT, which Avenger can best rival Robert Downey Jr.? Oh, the chat is... Where'd it go? Hold on. Oh, you guys are chatting so much, I'm losing the comments. Let me close this poll. But I see where you were going with that, and that'll be the next poll. So let me close the poll. Come on. Ooh, thank you, everybody, for your participation there. Okay, so the coolest surprise yesterday, Mystique, 47%. Yay! I mean, it is the BTT community, and we love Mystique. But that's fantastic. Then Ian McKellen's Magneto at 23. Cyclops at 18. I'm kind of excited about Cyclops because I think James Marsden always got stuck with, not a great role, and I think he could be a pretty good Cyclops. And then Namor at 10%, or Namor, as it's now pronounced. Let me do a new poll. Who do you think could be the new... if given the chance, who could be the MCU's new RDJ? So Scarlet Witch. Who else? Give me some names to put in this poll. I gotta tell you, they have a deep bench, but I don't know how strong it is. The Avengers lineup, in my opinion, is weak. Really weak. I guess maybe I'll do Mr. Fantastic. Although I do think Pedro Pascal is just a scooch overexposed at this point. You think Moon Knight? He has multiple personalities. I don't know if that would work. Spider-Man. Yeah, that's good. Spider-Man. Let's see here. Peter Quill? You think Star-Lord? Yeah, let's put Star-Lord in there. People like Chris Pratt. They love their Chris Pratt. Okay, I even enjoy Chris Pratt when he's not, trying to convert me. I like Chris Pratt. All right, so here we go. Anyone can vote in that poll, but again, you could be in this chat if you just hit subscribe. And boy, look at Scarlet Witch doing all the heavy lifting, representing the ladies and the LGBTQ community there. I really want Wiccan in there. I love Wiccan. I think Wiccan turned out so beautifully. I'm like, why is it? Yeah, where's Madison, Joey? Alex says, would Olivia Cook from House of the Dragon be a good Jean Grey? Maybe. I think she could be pretty good. I'm not a huge Jean Grey fan, I gotta tell you. I'm so on the Emma Frost team. And so because of that, I'm always like, Jean. Akana says they can't kill U.S. Agent because he's perfect for street-level Daredevil. That's true. I gotta say, Daredevil, by the way, Daredevil looks pretty good in the black suit with the double Ds. I'm not gonna lie. He looks pretty good. I'm like, and I'm liking the last 2 Daredevil episodes. No one's watching Daredevil. Nobody. I can't wait to see what the Nielsen ratings are. But in terms of chatter, that thing is dead. They're putting... I was checking my videos this morning, and they had an ad for Daredevil on it. And I was like, oh, man, it's going so poorly for them. All right, let's see here. Dwight says, thoughts on Mark Ruffalo and Sam Jackson? I don't think Mark Ruffalo's Hulk ever really worked, to be honest with you. And I love Nick Fury. I'll always like Nick Fury. Hamish says, do you think Nightcrawler will be CGI like Beast? Alan Cumming complained about the makeup. Will they all be CGI? How about poor Rebecca Romaine? She'll do it. She's an ex-model. How's she going to keep her white dress clean? But anyway, I do think Alan Cumming will mostly be CGI to really, because, Beast looks so good. Or at least CGI enhanced. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's funny that Alan Cumming's on the Traitors and it got him back in X-Men. Star says it feels unfair that the guys can flop and be given more chances, but the ladies are completely ignored. That's true, but I mean, Captain America is Captain America, although She-Hulk is freaking... I'm so upset that She-Hulk isn't in it. Natasha's dead, Arnie. I think Scarlett Johansson doesn't want to come back. She's moved on. Tay, I don't think they're going to talk. No one would talk to Bryan Singer these days. I think he's, talk about being canceled. I mean, I would not want to have anything to do with him as a company. Let's see here. I trust the Russo brothers with the X-Men. Dancing Dog 60 says, in all fairness, the MCU never has eye candy that are women. They concentrate on the male eye candy and carefully avoid the male gaze. Gaze. Yeah, I think that's very clearly something that they do. And I think it's interesting. I think they're going to have to stop doing that. I just don't see a path forward for them if they continue with that. And I think we've come to a point where I think we can admit that it's hurting their female characters. I think some of the male characters maybe survive because they're too sexy to get rid of. And I think that maybe if they allowed some cheesecake appeal to some of their female characters, they would enjoy the same safety net. Of course, not, the characters in on the fun and all that. But I think, I think what Marvel did with male characters and male sexiness was important, and it was a big shift. And I think it opened up the franchise to like a whole new fandom, which I think has been wonderful for it. But I think, it came at a little bit of the expense of the female characters. Dad Boy says, do you think the X-Men will be the ones from the Marvel's post-credit scene with Kelsey Grammer's Beast? No, I don't. I think it's from the Fox cinematic universe. Clearly. But I do think they'll be maybe in their X-Men. The question is, so my big question is, will they be in the traditional X-Men costumes from the animated series? Or will Feige save that for his own X-Men? I think, I mean, part of me, as I said yesterday, wonders if he'll just keep these as the X-Men and next introduce like Gen X characters and try and bring up new X-Men characters. Although that would be tough for them to support their own film. It's not letting me go up any further, but someone says, a huge fan of the Fantastic Four. I'm really excited to see them play such a big role in this story. I hope they bring back the MCU magic. By the way, I met Joseph Quinn last week here in Mexico, and he was amazing. Yeah, I love Joseph Quinn. The thing that's going on with him and Kit Connor is really interesting to me. But yeah, I think, I'm very excited for Fantastic Four. I hope it's good. I really, it's crucial for the next phase of Marvel that does well. All right, I can see some of your super chats up here. Let's see here. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Let me go back as far as I can to these. Okay. We needed to see Hallie return as Storm. She looks phenomenal and in demand still. I would agree. Even though she was not an ideal Storm, I think that Halle Berry needs to come back. She was very iconic. She did a lot. She opened a lot of doors in Hollywood. Down to Halle Bailey being basically named after her and being the new Little Mermaid. And I think that, I think she deserves to be part of this group saying goodbye. And she was a major get for the movie back in the day, from X-Men. Blake Bell says, I feel like the officials Avengers lineup won't be revealed until the end of Secret Wars. Like the new team, when we're out all this multiverse hopping, that's probably true. But I think you do have, as I pointed out here, you do have an Avengers team here of 6 people. You do have an Avengers team. Okay, let's see here. Official Liam G says, Grace, note that there are barely any magic users or cosmic people except for the Fantastic Four going against Doom. Maybe that's intentional. Maybe Doom wants to stay away from the magic users. And maybe Robert Downey Jr. said, I should be the only one who can do magic. And they said, yes, Robert. Whatever Robert wants, Robert gets. Let's see here. Tony says, I think if the Russo brothers use time runs out storyline with this cast, Doomsday will be incredible. Dying to know who makes it to the life rafts. Oh, Tony, that's a great point. So I don't know if you're aware of this, okay? But in Secret Wars, the Fantastic Four build a life raft to escape the multiverses that are crumbling. And it can survive the lack of a universe. And they had to pick certain people to be on the life rafts. Maybe that's some of these people. Maybe that's some of the surprises. I know in the comic book, some of these people, like Spider-Man, is on the life raft. But they make those kinds of choices. And so that could be really interesting to see who makes it. It'll be a little bit like the Snap, actually. Who gets dissolved and who doesn't. Who's on the life raft and who isn't. Steven Turner says, after Fox did the pretend script to trick Hallie onto the X-Men 3, I thought of that, Steven, that maybe Hallie didn't want to do it. But that was Fox, you know? That was Fox. I mean, part of me thought maybe that's why she wasn't coming back. But I think it would be, you know, I think Hallie's smarter than that. I mean, look how she took back the Adrian Brody thing. Let her end the storm on her own terms. Chadwick Meyer says the Marvel's post-credit scene could be the same OG X-Men universe modernized. Why is this not a possibility? I just don't see them bringing back those characters. I don't see any reason to. I think it's confusing. I just don't see them doing it. Okay, hold on. Let me get some more questions here. Faye would rather have Wanda over the Fantastic Four. Me too. Jico says, Grace, where's the new Guardians of the Galaxy? I think it's going to be a long time before you see those characters. I was shocked that they said Star-Lord would return. But where is he? Where is Star-Lord? I thought for sure Star-Lord was going to be in this movie, especially since Chris Pratt, talk about movie star. He was giving major movie star on the Electric State premiere red carpet. I was like, wow, I haven't seen Chris Pratt look that good in a very long time. Elliot, that's a good question about Clea, but Doctor Strange isn't here either. Saunders says, is Tom Holland in this movie? I suspect, I mean, I wouldn't say he maybe doesn't have a cameo, but as you can see, he's not a major part of it. I think Tom Holland's going to focus on, I think his story in this leading into Secret Wars will be Spider-Man 4. He has his whole own movie, so if he's in Doomsday, what would be the point of you watching Spider-Man 4? Laliv says, will this movie make $1 billion? I think it depends on the quality of the action sequences. You know, if it has really great action sequences, if it has a great X-Men action sequence, I'll see it multiple times. You know, if it has that quality of Endgame, if it is like a 3.5-hour opus where you're like, my God, so much is happening. If they add the soap opera element back into the MCU and where the X-Men are supposed to have it, I think it could make $1 billion. Let's see. D. Louise says Mystique is going to be a double agent. Oh, maybe like the way they use Nebula. Also blue, by the way. That's weird. That's funny. In the Endgame movie. I love the way Nebula was used. Maybe that's why I liked Nebula so much. She was Avengers Mystique. Chris wants them back in black leather. That would be kind of nice. You know, part of me feels they should show up the way they've always looked. You know, and they can make jokes about it. Oh, TM, you were grocery shopping. I'm glad we caught you. Hey, Jamal. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Let's see here. Adidia says, what is the emotional beat of this movie, considering a lot of the OG MCU characters? Considering not a lot of them. I think in Doomsday, they're going to end all these universes. I mean, if you read Secret Wars, that first issue is pretty traumatic with everybody being erased, you know, talk about not just erasing people, but universes, and then some people making it onto the life rafts. And let me tell you, not all the life rafts make it. That was pretty cool too. Not everybody makes it to the life raft. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like Paradise. You know that new show on Hulu with James Marsden and Sterling K. Brown, where not everybody can make it to the secret base that protects everybody from nuclear fallout. And not everybody can, even though they had a ticket, they didn't all make it. It's almost like the MCU version of that, which is kind of funny when you think about it. And that's true. Doctor Doom's world is a little bit like that suburbia that they made for Paradise. So this really is Paradise, the comic book MCU version. I like that. That's a good way to describe it. And Robert Downey Jr. is Juliana Nicholson's female evil billionaire. That's right, Icarus. There's no Iceman. Although I think they're probably not sure how they wanted to pick the character. I mean, they have some tough decisions to do with that. Let's see here. Vicious Ambitious. That's a great name. Says, I think they'll all die. Yeah, I think a lot of these, maybe that's why they're not all of our, like, these people will live. These people will not. And you're like, what? I got to read, time runs out. Thanks for the reminder, Tony. I hope Madison's okay with all this. I hope Madison makes it onto a life raft. That's right, HBO Hobox. Scarlett Johansson was very much cheesecake, particularly when she started out in Iron Man 2, and that was a decision made, by the way, by Jon Favreau. And Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow has been one of the most popular female characters for a while. She was doing a lot of heavy lifting, and she was very important for that reason. I think with Joss Whedon, though, he went too far. Joss Whedon went a little too far with, and I think that was a little bit much. M&V says, how could Rebecca's Mystique be back? Didn't she lose her powers in The Last Stand? She sure did, but I'm sure they found a way to get them back. You know, I think maybe they'll come out of X2 or something. I mean, you know, by the way, they can solve that by that being another universe where the X-Men are different but look all the same. Like Hugh Jackman was not the Wolverine from the Fox X-Men movies. He was a Wolverine from a different universe. So there could be another universe where they all look like they did in the Fox movies, but yet they wear the correct costumes and they still have their powers. Uraj says, Grace, do you think Falcon is the sixth member? Why can't it be Namor? I don't see Namor joining the Avengers, to be honest with you. I think he's a free agent. He always has been in the comics, too. He doesn't want to join any team. He doesn't want to join the X-Men. He doesn't want to join the Avengers. I just don't see that. That's why I put him in the additional free agent category down there. And how could Falcon, what would Falcon be doing here if he wasn't on the Avengers? I mean, if he's going to be there, you at least have to make him official. I'd feel even worse for him if he just was like standing there like outside the red rope. Well, Sam, can you get me in? I'm working on it. Let's see here. That's right, Tyler. Namor isn't for the surface world. If you come for the oceans, though, he'll kill you. Danielle says, no Wanda or America Chavez is odd. Well, I don't know about America Chavez. I'm really scared about the Young Avengers. I hope, you know, I just am nervous. I think it's going to be like the Acolyte all over again. And the Acolyte was good for 5 episodes, but then it fell off a cliff. Jake says, She-Hulk, let She-Hulk be Cheesecake. She kind of was. I think they made her a little too nerdy, you know? I mean, I agree wanting to make her relatable, but yeah, She-Hulk is supposed to be very Cheesecake. That's like one of her big things. Let's see here. Jacob says, maybe Mystique will have the white dress in human form, but not in mutant form. Oh, that's an interesting idea, although I think it would look weird in human form. The whole cool thing is the contrast with the blue skin. Let me close the poll, see what's going on here. Okay. I see everybody there. Scarlet Witch wins in a landslide. I love it. 43%. Mr. Fantastic, 25%. Spider-Man 25%, and poor Star-Lord down at 6%. Oh, maybe he's not coming back. But I think those are all great characters. You know what? Pedro Pascal might be a little overexposed, but darn it if he isn't a lot of fun. So I think that's interesting. I think he was, well, if people are already that excited about his Reed Richards, that bodes well for the movie. Nathaniel, I'm sorry I missed your super chat. You're betting that Franklin Richards will be the Molecule Man equivalent and Doom. Actually, that's a good guess, but I think that Franklin will be the Valeria. I don't know if there's going to be Valeria, but I think Franklin Richards will be. I think that from that concept art, you saw Sue Storm and Franklin, who were with Doom. Franklin was with Doom in the comic too, but he wasn't really doing anything except being like, "Hey, look at me." You know, it was Valeria who really had a big role in Secret Wars. But I think Franklin will fill that role. I think it'll be Invisible Woman. Let's see here. Hey, Glubby says, hope you're having a Glubby-tacular Friday. Also, don't we already have a ton of leaks that Scarlet Witch will be in Doomsday Secret Wars? I personally don't doubt that she'll be there. I don't think she's going to be in Doomsday, but I think she might show up at the end of Doomsday. But I think she will be in Secret Wars. Hey, Mystic, thank you for gifting a membership. Stephen Turner says X3 was rewritten in Days of Future Past. Oh, that's true. And MM92 says, hey, Grace, what do you think Marvel messes up the most in terms of being in tune with the fans? I think they benched them in their most popular characters. I think the Wanda erasure is insane. Oh, Babar, I'm sorry I ruined Paradise for you, but there's still a lot of surprises. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. It's still a great show. You're still going to love it. I highly recommend. I hope you still watch it. Let's see here. Harry says, could we get the OG Spider-Man cast in Doomsday? I don't know about that, but I haven't heard who's in Spider-Man 4, but I think, you know, there is a chance maybe some of them might be in Spider-Man 4. Let's see here. And Romaine says they already pruned 20th Century Fox, so I guess they maybe would be X-Men from a different universe. Usant says, how would we feel about Aaron Taylor Johnson back as Quicksilver along with Wanda? You know, maybe that's how Doom gets to Wanda. You know, he's like, I can bring you, finally, you know, I can do better than Jack Schaefer. I can actually bring you a different version of your brother. Not this Ralph Boner character. That would be really interesting. But, you know, of course, Evan Peters didn't play her brother from the... That would be really great, except, you know, Aaron Taylor Johnson seems to be the kiss of death these days to a lot. Well, we'll see how 28 Days Later does. But that would be a way, or, I mean, but Wanda has so many strings that you can pull with her. Doom can also just promise her kids back. Although now no, she can't, because that's Wiccan. So we'll see what happens. Ethan, I'm so glad you bought Secret Wars. You're going to have a great time reading it, and it's going to help. I can't recommend highly enough that you purchase Secret Wars and read it, the 2015 comic. It's not only a great read, but you're going to have such a much easier time following it. Not only following the movies when they come out, but you're going to have a better time. You know, finally, you know, for a while now, Marvel hasn't been following a lot of comics. So we're like, I don't know what's going to happen. I think the secret sauce is really when you can like contrast and compare it to the source material. And that's why going off of Secret Wars is so brilliant. Jonathan Hickman's tricky though. He's like Tom King. That's funny. Jonathan Hickman and Tom King are very similar. Great idea people, not always great on the execution. And they always end up going too cerebral at the end where you're like, it's too much. I can't take it anymore. That's right, Dancing Dog 16. Namor has been on a few teams. Oh, Wanda's attorney. I missed your super chat. I can't go back to all of them. Let's see. It's going so fast. Jesus. Oh, hey, Jesus. How much time do you think Robert Downey Jr. will actually wear the mask in the movie? I bet you he wears it hardly at all in Doomsday. I bet you he just puts it on at the end. I mean, as everybody's pointing out, Tony Stark is very Robert Downey Jr. I mean, nobody knows where one starts and one ends. But for all the promo material, he's still acting like Tony Stark. So much for his range with his Oscar. All right, so Dylan says, do you have any thoughts as to why Feige is continuing to bench Wanda even though she's so popular? I honestly don't understand it. I have no idea why he would do it. It's so odd. It just was bizarre. Jacob, I don't think Mobius is going to show up, but I think Mobius will show up sort of in the new He-Man movie where Jared Leto plays Skeletor, which I think is hilarious. I mean, I sort of half respect it, half think it's stupid. Chris Minter says Mystique will have her powers because the dart's effects were temporary. That's right. But, again, they can just get around it. Hamish, I don't know if Secret Wars is on Marvel Unlimited. It's worth the price, though. I mean, don't go buying, like, the omnibus or something, but just pick up the trade. Oh, hey, Dara, thank you so much. Deadpool has to show up so we know why Thor was crying. That would be great. I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind like a Deadpool cameo, but if you read Secret Wars, you'll see it's such a serious, big deal story. I don't know how maybe Deadpool could show up at the very end of Secret Wars or something. Zeus says, Grace, this was my super chat. It really frustrates me that Marvel thinks Elizabeth Olsen can bring as much money as Robert Downey Jr. She can bring in as much money as Robert Downey Jr. I mean, look how much Doctor Strange did. It did so much better than the first Doctor Strange because of her. Let's see here. Wiki Nomad says Madison should be as the Beyonder. Hey, Clayton. Let's see. Let me answer. Let's see. Benjamin says, well, where will Battle World fit into this? Well, in Secret Wars, the world that Doom created was called Battle World. Nobody really fought in it, but it was called Battle World. And I don't think they're going to do old school Secret Wars, where it was just like a Coliseum gladiator fights. I think they're going to do 2015 Secret Wars. Hey, Caleb says, I just want to say thanks to you. I've managed to secure my dream internship at marketing at Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers Discovery. Thank you for teaching me so much about the entertainment industry. That is a fierce internship, Caleb. I am very excited for you. Congratulations. I'm so honored that I played a role in that at all in helping coaching you and, so you knew the business. It's so cool to see so many of you go into the business off of things that you learned on this channel. And by the way, I also saw some of your comments that you're better able to watch the studio which is a show about Hollywood on Apple TV, because you can get all the inside jokes because of the conversations we have. That just makes me so proud and humbled, and it's just so nice. Congratulations. That's an amazing internship for you. Varen says, everyone should be reading all the Hickman events. Big Hickman fan there. I think Hickman, like for instance, he created Krakoa for the X-Men, which was a really interesting idea at first, and then it just didn't have anywhere to go. Noah says, what do you think Loki's role will be? Well, as I said yesterday in my video, I think Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom, while he went to the Beyonders in the comic, he'll have to go to Loki to create his multiverse in this story. So I think, he'll go see a god, and it'll be Loki. Let's see. Chris Bliss, I did see that Ariana Grande had an X-Men reference in her latest video, and I thought that was fantastic. I was like, Ariana, are you campaigning for something? But I like that. I'm glad she's still having fun. I like Ariana Grande. I will always have the greatest respect for Ariana Grande because she was so good in Wicked. She just was so good. I mean, it's rare to see performances that are that good. Cynthia Erivo was really good too. But I think that Glinda is the harder role. Alien says, Grace, do you think there's a way for the Eternals to come back? I know you did not love the movie and that it was not the most successful, but I feel like a lot of us really liked the characters. I think it's almost impossible. I'm sorry to say. Maybe you could. I mean, I think because it's so hard to explain how they fit in. I'm sorry to say, I think it's extremely unlikely you'll ever see them again. Maybe they could do something with Guardians in the future, but I just feel, not enough people saw the movie, and that I think Marvel's going to be afraid of bringing in characters that didn't do well because not only were they rejected by audiences, but it's really hard. People don't know them. They're not familiar with them. I think Captain America 4 is going to make a lot of changes in how Marvel makes movies for a while. Bennett says, any recommendations on where to buy all the Secret Wars issues? Well, I'm a big Comixology fan on Amazon. I read all my comics on my iPad. It's fantastic. I can carry them around in the palm of my hand. And also, I'm a member of Comixology. And not everything's on Comixology, but a lot is on Comixology. I read a lot of comics for no extra cost, and I always get a small discount. So I'm a big believer in Comixology. But of course, you could always also go, if you want to hold it in your hand, patronize your local comic book store. And they're very cozy. Go in there, say, where's your trade? I need a trade paperback of Secret Wars. And I'm sure they'll be very happy and to help to set you up there. Elias says, maybe he's depressed because he loses Pepper and his daughter in this reality. Well, then they would just be Kingpin in the Spider-Verse animated movie. Espresso says, low-key wish they would bring back Agent Carter. I think, if Chris Evans is coming back, I don't see how Peggy couldn't be there to some degree. I think she'd have to be there a little bit. MM says, could it be possible that Feige and Olsen have some kind of beef? I don't know. I don't think that would be very professional. I don't think Elizabeth Olsen has ever done anything that anybody's had a problem with. Wes the Best wants to point out that Florence Pugh is eye candy and comedic relief. That's true. Florence Pugh is really, she really brings a lot to that role. C Black, I'm sorry I missed your super chat there. Zach says, Grace, I just wanted to say that thank you. You have truly inspired me since I first discovered your channel. That means a lot. Thank you. Oh, wow. Green Lantern's Light. Thank you for gifting those memberships. Michael says, I loved Wanda, but they ruined her. Feige isn't using her as because she's no longer popular. What? Strange made $1 billion because it came out right after the... I don't agree with that at all, Michael, but you're, of course, entitled to your opinion, even though I think it's incorrect. Dolan says, what were your thoughts from a marketing perspective on the Chairs stream? I think people will always remember it. I think I probably wouldn't do it again, and I think I hope that they learned some lessons from it. Like, I think the Order of the Chairs wasn't great. But I think they did trend all day, and I think some people really liked it. And so I think the delivery method, I think not everybody loved what they got, but I think the delivery method was solid. I don't know why Kevin Feige never appears in these things. Why wasn't he in the last chair? Hey, Zach. Ramonzilla says, do you think the MCU can make the New Mutants mainstream like they did with Avengers? I don't know. It's a tough call. I hope so. Wiki Nomad says, Grace, I feel like these movies are too packed with characters. Do you think Disney will Harry Potter 7 this and split Secret Wars into 2 movies? Something tells me Disney might pull that off. No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I think they're trying to seriously duplicate Infinity War and Endgame with Doomsday and Secret Wars. And that was 2 movies, not 3. So I think it'll be 2. I mean, I will take all the great content I can get. Let's see here. Some people really dislike Wanda. Is it because she's a popular female character? Kayla says, can you and Wanda's attorney let me know how she's going to beat the murder charges? We're working on it. And then Dane says, over under 50% that we eventually get Steve and Peggy heroics like Pepper and Tony. I would agree with that, Dane. I agree. I think that's a good point. I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Evans does return as, say, Nomad, that Peggy's not fighting right alongside him. David says, Wanda is Emmy nominated, thank you. That's true. And Sahib says, is there any truth to the scoop of Black Panther 3 in February 2028? I don't know about the release date. I mean, obviously Denzel Washington scooped that. I'm glad they're making a Black Panther 3. I think that Ryan Coogler will, of course, eventually want to move on, but I think it would be really great if he could end, like Wakanda Forever was such a sad movie. Which it needed to be because of what happened with the tragedy of Chadwick Boseman's passing. But I would love Ryan Coogler to make another upbeat Black Panther movie and set it up to go forward. Oh, my pleasure to plug local comic book stores, Ramekins. I love local comic book stores. I think they're really important. Viren says, hey, Grace, I read most of my comics first on Marvel Unlimited, and the cool ones, I buy them in trade paperback or issues. How do you recommend people read comics? Well, as I said, I personally would recommend digital, but I did for a long time. I really loved my Wednesday pilgrimage to the comic book store. It was really very nice. Nathaniel says Doom will be explained by the Incursions. No, I think he's from the Fantastic Four cinematic universe or maybe another universe. Away says, Grace, is Hickman's 2015 run a good place to start for comic newbies? I think you could jump in because you'll be familiar enough with the characters from the movies and the TV shows. I think you'll be okay. Fernando says, will Spider-Man be in Doomsday? I think probably not. Maybe a cameo. I think his big adventure will be in Spider-Man 4, and then he'll probably be in Secret Wars. Let's see here. And then for Darks, he says, Grace, don't you think Spider-Man shouldn't go all over on multiverse stuff rather than making a self-contained Spider-Man trilogy with Tom Holland? I wish they would do that. That's how they seemed to set it up at the end of the last Spider-Man movie, that he was truly, truly going to be like Peter Parker, which I was very excited about, and tell those types of stories finally. And we were finally going to get away from Peter Parker in school, which I think we're all sick of at this point. But I think this is the Spider-Man 4 movie's coming out between the 2 Avengers films. So they're stuck. So I think you'll maybe have that afterwards. And I honestly think they're afraid to make a Spider-Man movie that isn't totally tied into the MCU. I think they're too scared to do it, which is a shame because I think that movie would do very well. I think No Way Home was a Spider-Man movie. It wasn't even really an MCU movie. So that's my opinion on it. Chris Hardy says, will Doomsday be for general audiences or is the multiverse off-putting for them? I think he'll be Robert Downey Jr. I think he'll be Tony Stark. He'll be a different version of Tony Stark. And that's how they'll make it more accessible. And again, you can't overlook the fact they're both in a metal suit. Let me see your super chat there. It won't even let me see your super chat when I click on your channel activity. Let me see if I can go back and find it. Aaron says, who do you think will be the leads of the 2 films? Robert Downey Jr. It's a good thing I like Robert Downey Jr., although even I'm like a little bit, Yaya Yan says, where's Miles Morales? I haven't heard anything, but I think that if I were going to bet money, I would bet that he will show up in Spider-Man 4. Obed says, do you think that the OG X-Men will die by Wanda saying no more mutants? No. Everyone, don't do that to Wanda. Don't have her kill the beloved Fox X-Men. I mean, she's got enough problems. Atlee says, have you heard any rumors about Yelena being powered up by Thunderbolts? I have not, but I wouldn't be against that. Jacob says, wouldn't Wanda's No More Mutants be a great snap-level cliffhanger? Again, I don't want to do that to Wanda. I think the snap-level cliffhanger is going to be the life rafts falling apart and maybe not even knowing which life rafts made it. Oh, that's a pretty funny joke, Austin, about James Gunn being in every single chair. That's pretty funny. I'm trying to be positive about DC, and I think it's very strong chances there's a trailer next week. I would say almost for sure. I mean, I'm not comfortable saying 100%, but I think there is a 90% chance, and I'd even maybe go a scooch higher than that they're going to get a Superman trailer on Tuesday. And I'm going to cover it. I'm not on vacation this time. Let's see here. I don't know. Like, that's a good point, Ariel Knight, about Wonder Man. What are we doing here? Like, why is that? What is that show? Just for some of us to enjoy and chuckle at? Let's see. Riley C. Oh, this year's Miss Super Chat. Love Rebecca is back, but where does this leave Hunter? Also, can we please, Hunter Schafer, can we please get a Mystique show? I would renew my membership for that. I think a Mystique show would be too expensive unless she was always shape-shifting off camera, which I think would be frustrating. Hunter Schafer is a great idea, but I think that Marvel is not in strong enough shape right now to pull that off, which is sad, which is too bad. I think Hunter Schafer was a really amazing choice for Mystique, but I just don't see Disney being that bold. Champagne Poppy. That's a great name. Says Christopher Nolan, the reason why Tom Holland's Spidey doesn't have a lead role in Doomsday. I wouldn't put it that way. I think that, Tom Holland is going to co-star in a Christopher Nolan movie, and then he gets his whole own private multiverse adventure, or incursion adventure. I mean, that's amazing. Nobody here is getting their own movie. So I think that's a good way I think I would look at it more positively. Hey, Andrew, welcome back. Metalhead Zaki says, do you ever get bored of movies, Grace, since you've been doing this for so long? I don't, but it is hard for me to watch something that is like franchise related, particularly if it's Marvel or DC, for fun. Because I'm like, working, must pay attention for a job. I watch old classic films to unwind and relax. And also like sudsy television that I don't cover. So like that is how I can unwind. Like Running Point, The Residents. These are shows on Netflix that brought me great joy. So like that kind of stuff. But no, I don't get tired of movies. I love movies. I've watched movies my entire life. My parents made me a movie fan and I love them. And so I'm very fortunate, knock on wood, that I'm able to, to do something I enjoy. AR says, what characteristics of Cyclops are you hoping they hit in Doomsday that they have missed in past X-Men films for Fox? The leadership skills. I want people to put some respect on his name. I want him to be, not just the joke of like, why would Jean like him over Wolverine? I want him to be like, oh, I don't know who Jean's gonna choose. That Cyclops is, kind of, what's the meme? Oh, he's kind of sexy. Ooh, right? Like, that's what I'm looking for Cyclops. Okay. Wait, I'm glad you like The Residents as well. Oh, Rashad, that's a good idea for a poll. Okay, a poll on what your thoughts are about the announcement. How does the Avengers Doomsday cast sound to you? Perfect. Pretty darn good. Meh. And then it's missing my favorites. Okay. And by the way, anybody can vote again in a poll. I mean, you could technically chat if you just hit subscribe, but anyone can vote in a poll. That Wiccan fan says, how do the Young Avengers Wiccan fit into all of this? Well, apparently they're going to be in Secret Wars from that concept art, and that means we're going to have Tommy back by the time Secret Wars comes out, so I guess he is maybe on the Vision show. You did get a membership, Romaine. Did someone just gift memberships? But anyway, I just love Wiccan. I think Wiccan's great. Joe Locke is fabulously cast. I love that they made him so fantastic. I think he looks amazing. I love that he's so powerful. He's everything. I just love Wiccan. I love Wiccan. It's like Wanda. I'm like, I can't have enough. Stephen Turner says, life rafts for Titanic, Avengers. Oh, that's right. A little bit like Titanic, too. That's funny. Oh, Chad, I'm sorry, Mr. Chat. Why don't we have 2 separate Avengers teams yet? It's frustrating and could be a fix. Oh, like the X-Men, like blue and gold teams, maybe? That's interesting. I don't know. I think they haven't. I just think I want just one really good Avengers team. Scorer says Multiverse of Madness had a B+ cinema score. That was not a good movie in many people's opinion. That's true. It wasn't. All that I say is I think you're. Well, no. The point is that even though it wasn't a great movie, people kept going again and again because they just wanted to watch Scarlet Witch. Oh, did they, Sahib? Did they officially announce the Wicked trailer for April 3rd? Or are you just trying to trick me into dropping tea? Did they officially announce it? I don't see anybody saying it. People certainly, I think, would have sent me that tweet. I think the Wicked trailer is probably on April 3rd, although again, I can't confirm it 100%. I think we're probably getting Superman and Wicked next week. I think for sure, and maybe other things, but those are the 2 I think that we're probably. I think you have the most likelihood of getting those things. Brendan says, so Captain Marvel is quietly retiring. Probably, I'm sorry to say, which is sad because she was so powerful. Oh, thank you. I see. So, Kareem, thank you for gifting those memberships. Thank you so much. And then Ryan says, I doubt they'll ever revisit She-Hulk because they'd have to accept that universe-breaking, awful finale. No, but please don't get rid of She-Hulk. Rogue Frogger says, Grace, I'm hearing Spider-Man 4 takes place during the events of Avengers Doomsday. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Is it true? What do you think about that? P.S. You're awesome. Thank you, Rogue Frogger. I haven't heard that, but I think that there's a strong possibility that that's true. Carrie says everyone should definitely pick Cyclops over Wolverine this time around. I love it. Justice for Cyclops. All right, let's see here. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's is also coming at Cinemacon? That'd be great. Fazbear Entertainment, I can see you're a big fan. Brendan Lucas says, feel sorry for Brie Larson. She jumped through hoops for Disney and was put in the same bracket as Rachel. Ironically, from interviews, she wanted a version of... Yeah, I don't know. I hope, it's really difficult interacting with the general public. It's really hard. It's a skill. It's a skill, and I think especially when you go beyond the smaller group that you first were comfortable with. Being a 4-quadrant talent is very hard to do. It's an art. It's a skill. And I think that people shouldn't be so dismissive of that ability. Andrew, it would be pretty cool if he was in a comics-accurate costume for Cyclops. Oh, that's right, Enter for None. What if someone said more mutants? Wanda's like, forget it. I hate all you jerks over here in Avengers. More mutants. More! And then Fawn says, will Doomsday focus on these characters and Secret Wars focus on the ones left out? Like Infinity War and Endgame. Oh, that's a good one, the Fawns. The way they handled it in the comic is that some characters were in the life rafts, and so they still remembered what the world was like, and so they weren't under Doom's spell. And then other characters, Doom saved, but he brainwashed them like Wanda did in WandaVision. Oh, Diana, happy anniversary to us. Yay! I'm glad you were able to tell me that. Lavender Hayes says, were you disappointed that Channing Tatum was chosen for Gambit and not Taylor Kitsch? No, I have to tell you, when I saw Deadpool and Wolverine, Channing Tatum's Gambit made my mother laugh so hard. She laughed. I rarely see my mom laugh that hard. I can count it on the times on one hand that she's laughed that hard. And so it'll always have a special place in my heart because of that. Anything that can make people who aren't totally into what comic books that I love, anything that can bring them over, means a lot to me. Nicholas says, what about James Marsden doing a Cyclops superhero landing? I would be epic. We'd all go so crazy. Donnell, she ended up in a universe where there are X-Men. Not necessarily this one, I think, is the issue. Alex, I don't think I'm going to watch Elizabeth Olsen's new movie, I'm sorry to say. Jason says, I think Elizabeth Olsen isn't coming back. Marvel will need to bring back Wanda to fix damage done to Doctor Strange. I think Zoe Saldana would be a... No, I think Wanda's coming back. I think she'll come back. I mean, it would be insane if she didn't. Lucas says, it's time to bring back Captain Marvel, people. People like the character. Bree's press comments got her in trouble, but people have... I really would try it. I got to tell you. I really loved how powerful Captain Marvel was. I still got chills in Avengers Endgame when she was entering the atmosphere from space. I mean, that was incredible. It was one of the neatest things ever. I loved it. And I don't even like Brie Larson and Captain Marvel that much. And I was like, that's incredible. It got me right in the feels. And so I think it can be fixed. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. All right, yeah, let me close the poll, and then I'm going to do 5 minutes of just answering non-member questions, because you guys aren't always allowed to be in the chat. Poke says, if Thunderbolts take place in New York, would we see Spider-Man or Daredevil in the film? I love you too, Poke. I don't know if we would. Brandon says, Michael Waldron as a writer is an issue for me. I hope he never comes back to Marvel. What did Jason say? Everybody's responding to Jason here. Oh, Jason's comment about recasting Wanda. Oh, you done poked a hornet's nest. Okay, how does the Avengers Doomsday cast sound to you? 37% of you feel pretty darn good. That's good. That's great. Although 36% of you are like, it's missing my favorites. 26% of you are like, meh. And 5% of you say perfect. Well, I think that's just the nature of the beast, that it would be almost impossible to totally please everybody at this point because Kevin Feige has so many characters. Pretty darn good. The top one is not bad. I mean, there's room for improvement with some cameos, and I think clearly they need to add a few more. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, let's see here. Sophie Thatcher is Rogue. Says, I think Sophie Thatcher would be a great Rogue. That's great casting. Juan is attorney. You are the hornet's nest. I love it. That's actually probably true. I like that. Oh, that's right, Austin. Why doesn't Owen Wilson get a chair? Oh, I would love for him. I would love for Mobius to jump to the movies. Hey, Danny. Ahmed, I don't know what's happening with Blade. I'm glad that Mahershala Ali did Jurassic World. Oh, hey, Raphael. I'm glad you made it there. Dylan, they did confirm there are more characters coming, but I think these are the main characters. Kasargi says, what about Ana de Armas's Mystique? I don't know, maybe. She's already now female John Wick, so I wouldn't feel too great about that. Ben 10 says, what do you think about Sabrina Carpenter as Emma Frost? Don't like it. Emma Frost has to have an elegance to her. You know, I know she dresses like Sabrina Carpenter, but, you know, you need the elegance. You know, she's very, very, proper British character. Alex says, do you think there's a chance of the original Spider-Man making an appearance? Thanks for being a long-term member of the community, Alex. Again, I can't confirm it, and I haven't heard about it, but I do think that is a solid bet. Bebeator says, Daredevil isn't a popular character. It has been a long time since the show aired. Let's see here. Jake Gemini says, Rosamund Pike for Emma Frost. She would have been a good Emma Frost back in the day. I don't know if she can still play the role. With these X-Men, she could, but no. A friend of mine texted me, and I'll repeat his joke. He was like, you can repeat my joke if you want to. And I was like, I don't know, but it was pretty funny. And it was Xavier's senior center for gifted seniors. Something like that. It's pretty funny. Let me read it out exactly. Oh, I think he's online actually right now. It's so funny. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, they have the Wicked for Good poster at Cinemacon. Yeah, they're going to have a trailer. Okay, so my friend's joke was, welcome to Xavier's Home for Gifted Seniors. I thought that was a pretty good one. And then my phone was listening to me, was paying attention, and put a senior ad in front of the YouTube video that I watched right after that conversation. And I got concerned as to how alert my phone was. I was like, that is so bizarre. You know, it went from one application to the other. Dre, Millie Bobby Brown for Emma Frost is hilarious, actually. I mean, it doesn't work, but it's actually kind of funny. I like that Millie Bobby Brown in her real life dresses like Adele. Or like she would be like, you know, she's just such a British, I really kind of think it's charming that Millie Bobby Brown, I think, there are people in her life who are like, you look fantastic. And I think that's really sweet. I mean, not everybody has to have the same, idea of what looks fabulous. Let's see here. Danny, Anya Taylor-Joy back as Magic, but I have to tell you, Anya Taylor-Joy would actually be a great Emma Frost. That would make me very happy. Jason says, if Zoe's done with Marvel, Melissa Barrera would be a great Wanda. Jason, what are you doing? Jesus, just trying to annoy people. Elizabeth Olsen forever. Charles, Doom and Wanda should never be a couple because of the fact that they changed, because of Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark's history with Wanda, that would just be really bad. I hope to see Star-Lord too, Sarah. Let's see. Renato says, Grace, I'm late. Greetings and love from Brazil. Oh, hello. Just want to say hi. Hi. Nuclear Fusion says, Mikey Madison for Black Cat or Rogue. I like Mikey Madison a lot. I said she'd be a good Harley Quinn, although maybe she should stay away from DC since it seems to be cursed. I'm curious to see her on SNL this weekend. I'm curious to see what her range is. Austin, I think Melissa Barrera would be a great Wonder Woman, as I said in my casting video. Joris, I don't know if the TVA will show up in Doomsday. I mean, Loki's going to be there. Brendan, I'm sorry I missed your super chat. They disappear. Let me see if I can find it. They disappear because the chat's going by so quickly. Oh, Brendan says, with Pascal billed before Robert Downey Jr., is Pascal playing the foil? Oh, that's interesting. I do think that Pedro Pascal is just a very big name these days, and maybe his role, I mean, he is the foil to Robert Downey Jr. in the comic, but I think, I think Robert, the name to go last, obviously, is the most important. Okay. Trace, I did like Keke Palmer's Rogue shots. I thought they looked great. And Dan says, I got to say that with the recent announcement, it has kind of re-sparked that fire of excitement. I would agree. It was really fun being able to make that video yesterday. It's been a while. Let's see here. Mr. Andrew says, what do you think will happen after the Avengers Secret Wars? Are there any movies confirmed after that last film? There are not. There are not any films confirmed after that. I think, I hope they maybe don't, so they can keep it a surprise as to what's going to happen. Lucas Gage's Iceman is actually excellent casting, real life Quinn. That's excellent casting, actually. And Space Viking says, I don't understand why they couldn't just do an evil Iron Man variant off the back of Civil War. I agree. We were supposed to have evil Iron Man and do Multiverse of Madness. It's fine. Spectre Saunders, I would be great if we did a mutant phase. With the X-Men. That would be great. Maybe Wanda will create them. Maybe she will say more mutants. And that's right, Sahib, Black Panther. So that's great. All right, let me do shout-outs. And I'm going to try and focus on people who are not members just so you can get a shout-out. There were 2 subscriber streams this month, though. I'm trying to do more. Let's see here. So where are you and what are you doing on this Friday afternoon? Let's see here. Buckteeth Bandit. That's a good name. As I said, I think there's going to be a Superman trailer. You guys are just still asking questions. I got to get going. Okay, so Jeff is in Oakland, California. David's watching from Ireland. Oh, hello, hi. I hope you enjoy Mufasa on Disney+. Aaron's in Trinidad. Let's see here. Von Croy is at work. Let's see here. Entropy is in Spain. Hi. Let's see. Sean is in Illinois building a Lego set on a rainy day. Oh, and listening to this? What a great day you're having. I love it. I love that for you. Glimmerworks is shout out from Kenya. Oh, hey, how you doing? Let's see here. Frank Brown is in Edinburgh. Dominican Scott is in bed recovering from, your runny nose. Oh, I hope you feel better. Let's see here. Isaac is working from home in Las Vegas, while Petros is in Greece. Mwah, kisses to you as well. Hey, Helder in Portugal. Let's see here. Polar Pop is in LA. Komish Monimish is in Germany. I feel like I'm on The Amazing Race. I love The Amazing Race. I'm loving it this season. Hey, Marco in Tijuana, Mexico. Slade is unpacking your Whole Foods goodies in Kentucky. I love Whole Foods. Let's see here. Logan Lockhart is in Kentucky. Hey, Nico in the Philippines. I hope you're safe over there. It was really tragic what happened today in Thailand. Hey, Jessica. Just had breakfast. Anders is in Sweden. I love you. Your name is so Swedish. I love it. Prince of Storms is in Louisiana. Oh, break a leg applying for a new job. Wandering Life says homesick from work but recovering while watching the stream in Ottawa. Oh, I hope you feel better. Let's see here. Nathan Luna says, me and my boyfriend are watching in San Pedro, California. Hey, thanks, Davon. Lost One Con is in London. Hey, I was just in London for the holidays. I love London. Let's see here. Oh, Wanda's Attorneys from Kentucky. That's great. I love it. Let's see here. Imran is having a cup of tea, and also in the UK, Birmingham, UK. Let's see here. Hey, look. B is Ryan from Bali. And then, look, Appo's in Pakistan. I love seeing so many people from all over the world. Jason's in sunny Isles Beach, Florida. Going to play volleyball later. That's very cool. Get your Top Gun on. Kayshawn is from Mississippi. You got Donovan in Costa Rica. Joshua is in North Carolina. BT is also in Kentucky. Look at that. Isha's in Puerto Rico. Look, David's in Romania. Super Gameplays is in Canada. Lord Donatello, I like how you made your name small there, is in Kansas City. Dylan's also in Mexico. Oh, hey, Ben 10. Always bonjour. Oh, Dan's in Orlando. Let's see here. Nishan's in South Africa. Let's see here. Aubrey Smalls is on a plane landing at LaGuardia Airport. Enjoy our new airport. Rodrigo is in Uruguay. The 10 or 2 is in Illinois, enjoying their day off. Oh, that's fantastic. Matt is, let's see, Alex is in Tennessee. I'm sorry for those of you who are members. I'm going to get to you on the next one there. Em says they're in Oregon. Babar is also in Pakistan. So you have a holiday coming up. Highball is in North Macedonia. Oh, this is so cool. MV is from Denmark. Josh is in Alberta, Canada. We love you still, Canada. We love you. We swear we love you. Let's see here. Alec is in Long Island City. Random Crap React is in Algeria. And Della is in Belgrade, Serbia, directing your debut animated film. That's very exciting. And then Caleb is in Nigeria, also doing laundry. See, laundry is all over the world. We all have to do laundry. Oh, look, Invariant says, anyone from Greenland? Oh, that's great. We love you too, Greenland. We're sorry for the problems we're causing. Diana is in Kentucky as well. Oh, this is great. Let's see here. McCabe is in Carey Island. MTNS is in Colorado, where the Sundance Film Festival is moving to. Jao is in Portugal. Pillow Music is in Detroit. Oh, that's so fun. Trailers and Trailers is from Sri Lanka. Oh, Nico, you're from Latvia. Tell us how Doomsday is. Eric Enchi is from Dallas, Texas. Oh, heart to you as well. And DRK is in India. And then Ratan is in Cambodia. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're you're near Thailand. I hope everyone's okay there. Wow, CJ's also at LaGuardia. Aubrey, CJ, you're at the same airport watching the same live stream. Ah, that's incredible. I love that. I love that. That's so great. Oh, Cormac is also in Ireland. Lai is in Bolivia. Oh, you're in Krakoa. No, Nico, now you're in Krakoa. You really move around. You must have one of those portals. And Nail Boy Muma is in Jersey. Oh, I love it. And Cindy Lee is in Phoenix, Arizona, homesick from work. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that you feel better for Saturday. All right, I got to get going. I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday and Saturday. And I will see you on Sunday. We're going to talk about, it'll be movie math. And we're going to see how Snow White did with the second weekend drop. It's going to be really interesting. All right, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.